Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I started to record. I always get given out if we're not recording, so I started to record the meeting. Actually, Dr. Chatelli is going to do we're going to do a webinar on diabetes. It's an area that she kind of specializes in. So we're going to do a webinar on that in October. I think it's October the 19th, but we'll send more details about that later on for people, So there's some nice comments coming in from different people there. Can you see the comments, Dr. Chatelli? You know where they are in the chat box?
Yeah. Someone is saying come to Scotland. Okay.
Yeah, we have to. As soon as we're out of COVID, maybe we'll do a road show and go all over the UK and Wales and Scotland and England and Northern Ireland and everywhere, Someone says, Mary Byrne, I recently made contact with TMN Rat Minds. I'm doing an introductory session with them soon. Mary said to say hello. I was singing your praises on the course. Thanks, Mary Byrne. Actually, that's interesting. I learned TM in the Rat Minds Center in 1989. So that's not today or yesterday. And Mary and Jack were running that center then, and they're still running it now. So it's one of the oldest TM centers, I'd say, in Europe at this stage, I'd have to say. So Sani is so excited to connect back. That's great. Is there a special happy Ayurveda day? Yeah, it is an Ayurveda day starting back off again. So there's a question there. If you want to take that, Dr. Chatelli, from Maria's Galaxy. I don't know if you can see that there.
Mm-hmm.
The Ayurvedic point of view on the fluids we should take in each day.
Okay.
Rarely feels thirsty.
Feel thirsty and wonder I'm drinking too much by drinking even if I'm not thirsty. Okay, so your age is 60 years. Okay, so if you don't have any of the alignments like hyperthyroidism or even you are not taking any medications of BP or anything, so the best water is like the fennel water or the cumin water, which will detox your body. So you can have that kind of water, boil them in the morning. If you take 2 glasses of water, add 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds into that, boil it until it becomes 1 glass, and you can sip that water in a day. So this will help to cleanse your body slowly. So you can take it like alternate days, cumin seeds, and later you can even try out with coriander seeds as well. So coriander seeds in the same way, like 2 glasses of water and again 1 teaspoon of coriander seed. Boil it well until it becomes 1 cup, 1 glass of water, and drink that. So these are few like CCF. So I have just given a name to that. So cumin, coriander, and fennel seeds. So you can use it alternately and have it and drink that water. So it is like it will detox your body.
I think Dr. Rajvinder is there. Hi, Dr. Raj, can you hear us? Dr. Rajvinder?
1 second.
Oh, that's okay. Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah,
oh, there.
Hey. Hello, everyone. Hi, Sonia. Hello, Dr. Chitrali.
Hello, Dr. Raj.
Good to see you all.
Good, good. Now let's see, is Dr.
Champa. So lots of familiar faces. Good
Dr.
to
Brennan
see
is there. Hi, Don.
How you all?
Hey, how you doing?
How you, Chitraji?
Yeah. Brennan.
Hello, Dr. Don.
Hi, Raj. Good to see you.
How are you? Good to see you. Stop. Jubko. Sorry, my.
Sorry, I'm just sending the link out to somebody that's looking for it. So,
You know.
might be questions coming in there if you want to. Or maybe not.
A permanently hungry lady that
I'm reading that as well. Yeah, you can get.
I suppose it's what would be worth her while thinking about is a consultation. I mean, you can get a situation of excess pitta, which gives insatiable hunger that can't be fulfilled, but generally they don't put on so much weight. There's, just becoming more aware of body sensations and actual hunger is a training that can happen in a consultation as well. And that's would be my input, Brian. Don't know if any of the other doctors would have an insight.
Sorry, what did you suggest? I was reading the
I
question.
suggest that we could actually give her some awareness of her hunger levels.
How old is I would like to know how old is the young lady?
Right.
That will help. That could be some hormonal stuff because there is some kind of imbalance anyway. So definitely, can we're a teenager, 18, I think. Yeah, okay. Yeah. If she's open and as you said, she's overweight as well. So definitely there's a lot of hormonal stuff going on, especially on her insulin level. That's what we will be trying to balance with Ayurveda. And through that, it will be a slow process. And as a teenager, she has to approach it slowly. I think if you educate her about what kind of food she's hungry, she eats small portion and regular and move in between as well. So through that, at least if she see a little shift in her weight, that will give her some confidence to keep going. Yeah, definitely you can educate her a lot.
Yeah, it would seem to me that she possibly would be open to doing something about it because what age is she? 18 or 19? Did you say, Richmond?
18.
18. Okay, so that's a lot of 18-year-olds would be very conscious about their weight and things like that, and they wouldn't like to see their weight going up. And obviously, if she allows her weight to permanently go up, I mean, there's so many issues health issues going to be associated with that. So it's well worth her while to try do something about that now. But as you say, there might be many different approaches to that. You'd probably
there are certain herbs that could help to set the mechanism, which you're saying doesn't seem to function. Yeah, so definitely we can help her.
So I'm just, let's see, we have 117 on now and it's 19:35. I just want to ask a question of people, especially like I realized there may be new people on this because we did some advertising on Facebook and we've probably, there may be some new people who've come along and they're not familiar with meeting the doctors. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask the question about how many people, if you've done the 7-lesson Ayurveda course or any of our Ayurveda courses, stick a yes into the chat box. And if you haven't done it, put a no into the chat box. And for those of you not familiar with Zoom, you'll see a chat box. If you bring your mouse down to your pointer down to the bottom of the screen, you'll see a little icon called chat. And then if you just click on that, that'll enable you to ask questions and put things in. So if you've done our 7-lesson course, if you just wouldn't mind putting the word yes in, and if you haven't done our 7-lesson course, just stick the word no in and just give me an idea of, because obviously if you've done the course, you're going to have a very good knowledge of Ayurveda. Well, we hope you're going to have a very good knowledge of Ayurveda. So we have a lot of yeses. Bonjour, Noel and all.
Everybody's asking about the symptoms.
Yeah. So there's one question about the fungal nail infection. So I'll just talk about it. So usually the fungal nail infection, it is a kind of, in Ayurveda, it is a Raktach Krimi kind of thing. So there's a worm infestation there and it might be Vata and Kapha Dushti there. So for that, you can take, like, there are herbs like neem and even manjishta and other antibacterial, like vidanga is also there. So these are the herbs which will help for fungal nail infection. And Dr. Raj, do you have any name like MA?
Yes. Radiant Skin would have all of the herbs that you're suggesting. The Radiant Skin formula would have, or Healthy Hair Nail is also a good one, especially for the nail bed, so that the growth from the nail bed is more healthy. You can take that. And neem oil is actually also helpful. So regular applications of neem oil on the nail, keep it short, keep it clean. And as you said, it's fingernail. So yeah, especially on the toenails, damp socks, so damp you have to be very careful about. So with the hands, yeah, the hygiene, probably cleaning and all of that. Make sure you're not using any too much of hard soap and all. So the Dr. Chitrali mentioned the herb Vidanga. Vidanga is a very good herb for fungal infections. We don't stock individual Vidanga on its own, but it's in the liver care. So I suggest liver care and radiant skin combined together. Take it for 3 to 6 months at least to stop to spread it to further to your skin, and then you do that for 3 months and then you start healthy hair nail formula.
And one more thing to add, if you are going for any nail spa or anything, try to avoid application of nail paints, which has sometimes harsh chemicals into that.
Okay, and liver care is MA579 and radiant skin is MA926 on our website. So it actually looks like most of the people on the call have actually done the course. So that's great. And there's only a few people said no. So for the people that have said no, I'll show you how to access that course. It's all pre-recorded, so you can watch it in your own time. And I'll speak a bit about the course a little later on, you know. But it seems, I'd say about 80%, at least 80% of the people have done it. And just looking at the names here, a lot of you have done it a good few times, you know. So yeah, so there's a direct question for you, Dr. Chitrali. If you saw that, I don't know if you saw that from Amber. What can I do for shingles? 10 weeks now and still have red spots with a white pinprick in the middle of the spot. Not too painful now. And now sorry, I just lost the question. Not too painful now. And now I can't actually read the end of that. My husband has big spot shingles for 2 weeks now, and he has large blisters. Okay, so it's a bit strange, is it? Both of them getting shingles, Don? Would there be a connection there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, shingles can spread.
Shingles it arises when the immune system drops, and so it could be, you know, that their immune system is together or down for some reason of stress or something, and so the shingles can take off, but not usually immediately contagious like that. It's more the chickenpox virus that has been retained in the nerves, and it just erupts when the immune system drops. So the chickenpox would be contagious at the time, but because it's embedded in the nerves, it wouldn't immediately be contagious, except when the blisters are open and burst, then it could be.
Okay. And Dr. Chitrali, have you any comment on it? Or?
Yeah, if the immunity is low in the shingles, so you can start taking our rasayana also, which will help to improve the immunity, and as well it will cool down the heat, the pitta in the body.
Okay, so an immunity. I do also, as far as I know about shingles, I know there's Western medicine that's, I think it's very effective against shingles, as far as I know, if it's taken very, very quickly. Don, are you familiar with that?
That's the great problem with shingles is, and the worst of all problem with shingles is that for about 30%, even after the shingles has healed up and gone, there's a residual pain because the nerve was damaged, and that pain becomes a chronic ongoing, you know, serious pain that people can have for life. So the whole concept in taking the antiviral drug as soon as the shingles is diagnosed is that it seems to prevent that pain happening. So that's why if you have shingles, it's really a good idea to get to the doctor and get on the drug, because you run the risk of a chronic painful condition for life otherwise.
I would say the application of ghee will help in the present scenario. They're feeling it very itchy and painful. So heat up some ghee and apply with a cotton, especially where the shingles are. It's very soothing. And then one of the MA222 will be very helpful because of the amla and ashwagandha and shatavari. So you can start that, and it will help with any kind of nerve pain as well. So at least in this situation, you can do that.
So it's probably something that you should approach from both Western and the Ayurvedic approach as well. But
if it's healing, I think I can't see the question. You said it's painful. It will get better, but it is a bit painful. So then ghee will help.
okay.
It will be very soothing. You can help it.
Dr. Shatrali was suggesting Rasayana, and one that would be Rasayana and soothing for Pitta as well would be the MA3323, the paste. And it would go nicely with the 222. Different herbs, but all reducing Pitta and strengthening to the nervous system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don, you probably need to switch on a light there if you have one beside you. You've a very dark surroundings there.
Am I not glowing, Noel?
Yeah, you are.
There you are. Now I'm blinding.
Yeah, now you're blinding. So there's a good few questions there coming in.
Question. Somebody saying about the thirst, how much water is recommended, and she's a 60-year-old. Make sure you're not drinking too many teas. Irish people love their teas and they don't drink water. So if you are a kapha, I say 1 liter is enough because kapha people have too much fluid in their system. But roughly between 1 to 2 liters, not more than that. So just keep reminding, just sip a little water every half an hour or so. So like say 250 ml first thing in the morning when you get up. And then around 11 o'clock, around 2 o'clock, and around 4 o'clock. So by that, if you're taking half a pint, at least 1 liter is going, and that's probably plenty. And you're 60, maybe not too much water in the evening. And then all this tea and coffee will be very dehydrating. So they are not your water. So just do drink water because that could dehydrate your system a lot. And Ireland is a very damp, especially in autumn and winter, and that's when you don't feel very thirsty. But in the summertime, do take your water, increase your water intake.
I would hazard a guess that there are Irish people that never drink water other than in tea.
I'm sure that's true.
And I think I probably was one of those people that you just have a cup of tea maybe 3 or 4 times a day, but that's not giving you your proper water intake, Dr. Edvinder. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying your tea is not your water intake. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. People would say they drink 8 cups of tea per day, so 3 or 4 is nothing.
But you need to be drinking water on its own.
Yeah, tea, herbal tea maybe. But the normal ordinary tea is not considered your water intake because it's more dehydrating.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I'd say that's news to a lot of people on the call, So we need to be drinking water. Okay. Of
course, yeah.
So there's one question from Dev Chalin about the osteoporosis. So they're taking calciocare from Maharshi Ayurveda, I guess, and want something. I am blood thinner for FB, but I have osteoporosis and I haven't taken the injection Prolix yet as they have so many side effects. A bit anxious. Okay. So she's asking like if we can take magnesium along with that. So calciocare will be more than sufficient for osteoporosis. Instead of adding magnesium into that, but try to have like pineapple, spinach, wheat, beans, and regular exercise or walking, what you are doing. Continue with that. That should help you, and enough sunlight as well, so which will help you to combat the osteoporosis. Any doctor want to add anything into that?
Sorry, were you asking me because I was looking at
any of the doctors want to add anything to it? We have a webinar on osteoporosis on our website, actually. Well, we have a webinar on our different forms of arthritis on our website that we did a 2-hour webinar on it last year, so that might be worth looking at. But I don't know if any of the doctors have anything else.
It depends on how much osteoporosis, what is the density of your bones, Dave. depends on that. If you are offered Prolia injection, then I guess it's bit too much. So I would suggest you go with because CalcioCare help the absorption of the calcium. It will provide you some of the calcium, and you follow Dr. Chitrali's diet recommendation, calcium-rich food and movement. But I would say a good bone supplement is also helpful. We don't do any of the bone support formulas, but I will type in the chat for you. I recommend a bone supplement overall combination if you have osteoporosis and if you were offered the injection. And
you supplement with vitamin D.
Yep.
And you have to see it as a Vata condition, and you have to, through lifestyle and diet, your routines to balance your Vata.
Yeah, regular sesame oil massage,
Yes.
Ravianga, yeah.
It's the richest source of minerals to do with the bone, basically. So when you then do the sesame oil massage, it can only be doing you a lot of good. And you know, we've seen people reverse their osteoporosis, so it's quite possible.
Yeah.
There's a very interesting question about
asked, the same guy, Dave, asked about a child of 3, should you take triple? And no, Dave, not necessary for a child. Even if the child's very constipated, I would try prune juice. Prune juice or stewed prunes, apricots, but that would be far better for the child.
Did you say Herbal Digest, Dr. Brennan? One of the Digest Plus?
Digest Plus even?
Yeah, Digest Plus.
Half tablet.
Yeah, like if maybe the child is constipated, then the milder version is 154. Is it MA 154?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
There's a question there from a lady who's pregnant and she decided not to get vaccinated and would like to know if there's something that I can take once I deliver the baby to keep the immune system strong and it is compatible with breastfeeding. So I presume keep her own immune system strong and then also by that help with the baby as well. And so I'm sure some of the doctors have some.
Pregnancy is a good tonic.
Sorry, Don?
Pregnancy is a great tonic.
Pregnancy is.
And so she's probably quite resilient as she is. Yeah, once the baby is born, definitely take the Rosainas, the tonics. I think that the Chyawanprash would be one I would consider because for the respiratory system. The MP16 up the nostrils as well, the nasal drops, I would use that regularly. I'm sure our Vajas will have more to add. Basil.
Along with Chyawanprash, you can take Gulkanda, that is rose petal
Jam.
Yeah, jam. So along with that, because sometimes Chyawanprash itself can increase heat in your body. So try to take this rose petal jam along with that.
Okay, and the problem with rose petal jam is I'm just wondering where they'd get it.
Do they sell? Some of the Indian stores.
Indian stores have it, do they? Yeah.
Yeah, Eurasia or any other.
Okay, Maharishi Ayurveda used to do one, but then for some reason I couldn't get it recently. But yeah, so rose petal jam, you get it in an Asian store, you know. Someone asking about jaggery. Raj, did you see that line of questioning?
Can you read it? Because I'm just lost in which question to pick.
Yeah, you need to focus.
Too many questions.
Someone asked about jaggery. They want to know the fact that it's. I'm just seeing the second part of the question. Do its benefits outweigh its disadvantage? The fact that it's actually sugar, you know.
Yeah, it is a complex sugar. If you want to choose between white sugar versus jaggery, I go with the jaggery because it's slow release of sugar rather than instant release of glucose to your blood, but it's still a sugar. It's still going to add glucose for diabetes, but it has a lot of microminerals or iron. So for that purpose, yeah, it would have health benefits. Like molasses. Molasses is rich of a lot of microminerals and iron and magnesium and things like that. So small amount. Ayurveda says small amount of sweet taste is important in your diet. So that way you go with the complex sugar. So jaggery, honey, maple syrup, coconut sugar. You are avoiding the refined sugar, which is used sulfur or other chemicals which make it more acidic for the systems. So, and then how much you use, the amount. So you have to reduce it to 1 or 2 teaspoons. I think average 3 teaspoons are recommended sugar in an adult diet. So I would say you reduce it to 2 teaspoons. So that way, that little sweet taste is important for your body, and keep vata under control, because vata is the sweet taste is a heavy taste. So that way, jaggery is more superior than normal white sugar, I say.
So there's one question from Olive that he has fibromyalgia and a lot of pain in the feet. So this fibromyalgia, basically it is a vata disorder. So to reduce that vata, you have to, like, there are good herbs. We have joint care formula. Can you just tell me the number?
3572.
4572, yeah.
4572.
Yeah.
4572. So that will help. And even there are herbs like ashwagandha, then sunt, that is ginger officinalis, gugul. These are few, and shallaki, which is a painkiller. So these herbs will help you for fibromyalgia, and avoid overexertion and over stress, basically. And even try to do pranayama, which will help to balance and regulate your both the nadis and regulate the vata, so that all the vatas will regulate in a proper way. And basically one should take like high vitamin D foods like fish, mushrooms, and like enough sunlight. It will help you in that way.
Fibromyalgia, again, is a vata condition, and you'll probably know from the people that did our course that, like many of the common disorders that people suffer from nowadays are vata conditions. So vata is caused by overactivity, too much movement, too much excitation, too much stress, not enough stress management, not enough time spent in nature, not enough relaxation. So vata is air and space, so it's moving and it's quick, and it's we really do live in a very vata dominant world. Like the TV and computers and WhatsApp and all of these things can aggravate vata. So if you have a big condition like fibromyalgia or any of these vata conditions, it's as much a lifestyle thing as it is taking herbs. Actually, in Ayurveda, it's nearly always a lifestyle thing as well as taking herbs. So we need to learn to relax, meditation, doing your yoga, doing the pranayama, which Dr. Chitali mentioned there. So that's the alternate nostril breathing. And you can look that up on the internet and just find ways of relaxation, of relaxing and just balancing out that vata,
Andrew, I think, said he's a vata, but lately he's producing a lot of mucus. What dietary recommendation is for him? Andrew, make sure you're not eating too much of cheese, because cheese can give you, because in the summer people tend to eat salads and put cheese and parmesan into their pasta and things like that. So I would say cut down on the dairy. And then you can take a 1/4 teaspoon of ajwain seeds, which is like Indian caraway seeds, after each meal. So hopefully that will help with your digestion and stop the production of the mucus. Also, you can make CCFT, which is an equal amount of cumin, coriander, fennel. You boil into water 10 minutes and you strain it and you sip that water. So those 2 things you can do straight away now. And try not to eat too late in the evening as well, and cut back on the salads or cold food and sip hot water.
And Michael asked about COVID and the use of MA 630 and when to use it. What you should do is, as soon as you know you've COVID and as soon as you have symptoms, use it. It's a product that is really for fevers, so it's ideal to get in early with it. But there's another product that Noel has coming in from India, which is specifically designed for COVID, and it's MA 1957. It's called Iron Defense, and that has the specific herbs designed particularly for this infection. So that is what I would move on to. as well, and take that for maybe 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, we don't have that yet, Don. I mean, has been ordered. It's a new product that was created by Maharishi Ayurveda for the particular circumstances we're in, but it's not available yet. But hopefully, I'll send out a newsletter about it. So make sure everyone that you're registered for a newsletter. But I'll send out a newsletter about it when we do get it, and make it available. You know.
There's Joan O'Connell is asking about a 2-year-old child with periventricular leukomalacia. And that's a situation in the brain. It sometimes happens to a child that has been deprived of oxygen prior to birth or after birth, maybe premature. And it means that some of the brain cells around the central ventricles in the brain have been lost. And it may be that the child is going to be fine, but sometimes it starts, as the child develops, to develop muscle spasm or muscle stiffness. I think the best thing there would be brain tonic, and for a 2-year-old child, a study power would be a nice brain tonic that's a syrup and so easy to take. And lots of massage for that child, because massage with almond oil would be a very soothing thing for muscles and for nervous system. Maybe the devices have something to add.
And Tulsi, the holy basil is very good to increase the oxygen level. So either you make Tulsi water and give few drops after every half an hour, or you can mix into the Dr. Brennan's recommendation of study support syrup. So I would say 1/4 teaspoon of that study support syrup 3 times, and you add 1/8 of the Tulsi powder into the 1/4 teaspoon.
There's a very nice quote there from, I think it's Brian O'Donoghue. He said, "My 106-year-old mother will not drink water or tea." Okay, but Brian, we want to know what she does drink. So let us know what you do. Maybe it's
tonic water. Irish people like tonic water. That's the other thing I discovered recently.
Tonic water. I don't know about that. Maybe gin and tonic water, but yeah. Anyway, tonic Brian, we want to know what your mother does drink. That's for sure. She's 106, so that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And
we'll all take to it.
Yeah, we'll all take to it. There's a holy well at the bottom of the garden or something. Recommend a water filtration system. Don, you have some system in your house, don't you?
Yes, I do. I've got 2, and one is taking out the fluoride that they put in, and the other is taking out, all the other metals. It's just a cylinder that you put into a container, and the water is pumped through it, and it just filters out the calcium and the excess minerals and the contaminants. I could go and find out the name of it if you like. I just have that in my head.
Yeah, you could probably Google it anyway, so they could probably just Google it. But I don't know, there's some of the just the ordinary filtration systems that you can buy appear to be like the ones the reusable ones, they seem to be pretty good as well. So you could use them as well. Is there an Ayurvedic?
Those are the jugs. Think about them is that if you can get a jug that tells you when it's finished, when it's done, because often people use those jugs for far too long. And
yeah, I think I have my one there for about 6 months. At this stage, it's probably putting all the contaminants back into the water. That is a very valid point, actually. Yeah, that is a very valid point. You need someone there to let you know. Ayurvedic medicine for preventing and cure of COVID. Well, I really think you should look at the COVID video we have on our YouTube channel, because one of the things when this began to happen is the Department of Ayush in India made certain recommendations of treatments for people to help prevention. Obviously, if your immune system is strong, that's the ideal thing, is that you have lots of ojas, you have lots of strength. And we know that it's vulnerable people that in the main part, suffer. And I'm not saying it's not solely vulnerable people, but it tends to be a high percentage of vulnerable people. Obesity, I think, is another huge issue around COVID that's not really talked about enough either, But So having your immune system, keeping your immune system strong, which is what Ayurveda is all about anyway. So all of the daily routines, all of the things we talk about in the course, all of the common sensible things, early to bed, early to rise, avoiding processed foods, eating good, healthy, in season, organic food, doing stress management, getting a good night's sleep, all of these things are there to help. I'm not just saying with COVID, I'm saying with everything, because life throws all sorts of things at us, you know, whether it's mental stresses or physical things like viruses or bacteria or all this. And you need a good, strong, healthy immune system to deal with all of these things. So Ayurveda has tons of advice for that. So just do the course that we do, or go and look at the video on our YouTube channel about specific recommendations for keeping your immunity strong, you know. Actually, it was interesting to think about shingles, because I don't know whether you read, Dr. Brennan, but one of the side effects of that I read a while back was increase in the number of people getting shingles after the vaccine. I don't know whether those people took the vaccine or not, you know, but I don't know whether was it you that told me about that, or?
Well, that was an issue that was brought up by a professor who actually developed the MRI vaccine, that in materials that were available to the public in Japan, when they applied for the license for the vaccines, it seemed that the some of the little parcels that the virus is wrapped in were found in the bone marrow, and he was concerned about people's immunity from that. And it was one of the things he mentioned were probable or possible immune difficulties, including shingles.
Okay. Do neem and turmeric thin your blood?
They in a way, they prevent, like turmeric would prevent the platelets clotting. So it's not thinning in the sense of warfarin might, but it does have benefits that prevent premature clotting of blood, should we say. So it's not that it's blood thinning, but it's helping the blood be healthier so that it doesn't abnormally start clotting. So it wouldn't be good to replace a blood thinner if you have atrial fibrillation. It's too possibly serious a situation. But for the general run, I think the use of turmeric would be good. I remember talking to an ENT, an Indian ear, nose, throat surgeon. He says he'd never witnessed any clots from post-surgery in India. And he put it down to the fact that there was so much turmeric in the diet. Whereas, you know, in the West, where we don't have that benefit, there is a certain instance of deep vein thrombosis and blood clots.
Okay, that's interesting. So turmeric anyway is very, very highly recommended in Ayurveda. So
right, with the point of view, turmeric and neem, they are both drying, which will be clearing mucus, the kapha from the system. So they decrease kapha, which will be kind of blood thickening, so fat, you can say mucus, and they'll be drying. So they're stimulating liver, they're very stimulating. So want the liver to digest fat. So that way they're also increasing vata. So too much of neem could be very drying. So it's better not to overdo neem.
But I mean, I think people can cook with turmeric most days. Rajvinder, would that be
fair?
Absolutely,
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And it has different qualities when you just put it on your food, as opposed to frying it in the ghee. I think in the book by Hari Sharma, The Answer to Cancer, he talks about the different effects that it has on the body. And one of the things that people should do is fry it in the ghee. Well, that's
go deeper. Deeper. Ghee is a great carrier to bring the medicinal effect of the herbs to the tissue on the deeper level. That's why ghee is a great carrier oil for cooking. When people sprinkle, it doesn't do the same job as you're cooking in the ghee first.
So do you remember, Noel, when our little Vaija from Galway was with us before she went back to India?
Shraddha,
and we asked her to do an article on turmeric, and it was weeks. But when it came, there was about 20 pages of benefits of turmeric, and it was incredible. Every system, and it was completely, hormonal system, blood system,
Yeah.
liver. It was just,
Yeah, I know it's not highly revered for nothing. Yeah, I mean it is. It's
and in America, some guy tried to patent
the
it,
patent that yeah.
and it's only that the Indian government woke up at the last moment and got involved in the court case.
Oh, this is ours.
Yeah.
It is a
But this
potent
is the world's.
Yeah, absolutely.
and it has a potent anti-inflammatory action. So it is helpful in most of the conditions.
Yeah, fantastic. And there's a question about earwax. What imbalanced dosage gives extreme overproduction of earwax? Here's someone who's very annoyed. I hope you can hear me, by the way, Sarah. Is it Vata? How to cure? Earwax would be a byproduct of the metabolism that also produces muscle. So I would have you exercising, doing enough exercise. And there are herbs that help muscle metabolism like ashwagandha and amla. And I suppose if it is a problem, there could be, we used to have ear drops, which we don't have anymore. So it could be possible to roast garlic in olive oil.
Rapeseed.
How is that?
Rapeseed oil.
Rapeseed oil. In rapeseed oil, you'd say. Okay.
More warming, more thinning.
Okay. And until the garlic is, chop a garlic clove, roast it until brown, filter out the garlic, use the oil drops, a drop in the ear going to bed at night, and then put a little cotton wool to prevent the oil coming out and staining your pillow. That may also help to clear it.
So then her question is, it's not Vata, it's Kapha.
It's kapha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maintain good hygiene, clean it every often whenever you see there is a lot of wax in your ear. So try to clean that every time.
But always be very careful never to use these little sticks, these cotton sticks, because people damage their eardrums, or worse, if you use those. The skin in the inner ear is so delicate, and it has all these tiny little hairs, and the hairs constantly waft. And the purpose of creating wax is to catch and trap any dust, dirt that goes into your ears, and the hairs just waft the wax out of your ear, and it falls. So when it's visible, remove it. But you don't stick anything in your ear, because you can damage that very delicate line of your ear, and that then can create a chronic infection that people have a worse problem. But the problem for you is you're creating so much wax, it's overwhelming the hairs, who can't then clean it out, and then it gathers, and then all that cycle.
And speaking of the ears, someone is asking about tinnitus as well.
Tinnitus.
Yeah, it's more kind of a Vata condition. But yeah, Dr. Chitrali, go ahead there if you have any recommendations for it.
Yeah, so we Vachalashunadi Tailam, that oil is good for tinnitus. And do we have anything in Maharshi Ayurveda?
Dr. Branning's recommendation, same. He suggested about the garlic and rapeseed oil.
Yeah, that one. So this Vachalashunadi Tailam, the results are fantastic. If you have Taigo also along with that. And
you better type that into the chat box, Dr. Chitrali, and maybe we wouldn't have that, but maybe somebody might be able to get it on Amazon, And I think meditation is also quite good for tinnitus, because it is a Vata thing, and it can be because of overstimulation and overactivity building up over time, and then it develops into this ringing noise, which can be very, very irritating. And actually, I think meditation, any form of relaxation or stilling of the mind, can be very helpful in things like that as well,
And also, Vata condition, the oiling, the
Abhyanga, yeah.
Especially, the head massage. But the use of the MP, the MS735 nasal drops, because the eustachian tube drains the middle ear, which takes, the oil can ooze its way and get into that general area. So I would regularly apply the nasal drops. Noel doesn't like me putting my finger up my nose to show how it's done. So we'll let notice.
No, it was just one time I didn't know you were demonstrating it, and I just turned around, you had your finger up your nose, and I'm thinking, my God, what's Dr. Brennan doing? But anyway, yeah, it's anyway, we have an administrator now, I think a nozzle that you can just, you don't have to put your finger anywhere near your nose. And actually on one of the videos in the Vata lesson, we actually, the daily routine, we demonstrate that, you know. But that oil would be very good for tinnitus as well, and good for anything above the neck, really, migraine, all sorts of things. It's a good oil for.
Brandon, your vaccine thing, Valneva, Andrew is saying it's cancelled. Oh, is it?
Which?
The vaccine, Valneva, is it cancelled by the government?
Oh, well, the Valneva, I cancel it myself because a friend who's a geneticist was telling me that even though the vaccine for Valneva was produced in a traditional way, they always add something to the vaccine to make the immune system respond more actively. And this time what they did was they added a strand of DNA. So now we're back into the same difficulty where we're using new technologies that haven't been tried and we don't fully know. However, there is another vaccine that is that's in its phase 3 trials in America, which is totally traditional in how they produce vaccines. And that's called Novavax.
Novavax.
Novavax. So Novavax may be coming some months down the line, and it would not be novel technology. So there would be decades of developing vaccines in that manner, which might give people a little bit more confidence if they're concerned.
There's a good point by Dart Distel there. Since we're in the change of season phase at the moment, any recommendations on how to best how to adapt to the coming Vata season for a Pitta Vata? So yeah, we are changing season actually, and you can notice it now. It's actually, well, it's dark outside already here. We might do a webinar on the change of seasons. Actually, it might be a nice idea. When would you say is the prime time for the change of season, Don? Is it now or is it more towards the end of the month?
It's happening now.
Right.
It's I'd say think about the next 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll, I mean, it would be a very simple webinar to put together, really, because I think all the doctors would know the change of season from Pitta into Vata, and what people need to do in the Vata season would be, I don't think you'd have to do much homework to come up with that, you know. Maybe we'll organize something for next week and we can just do it. The doctors can just talk about what they feel are the most important things to do at this time of the year. That might be something. I'll talk to you about that later on anyway. We can see, can we do that?
Yes. The next question, Madeline has asked, I wonder what your views are on ghee and cholesterol levels. So this website says to avoid ghee if level is high. I thought the opposite is true according to Ayurveda. Yeah, so you are correct. So ghee basically is a good, it improves absorption and assimilation in the body. It increases ojas, stage in your body, and basically if you take in a moderation, ghee is helpful to pacify pitta and vata, and in moderation when you take, it is also helpful for kapha conditions as well. And only thing you have to be very careful while taking ghee is if there is more ama accumulation or the toxins in your body, you should be careful while taking ghee. It might increase your cholesterol. So that is one thing. But if you are taking it like 1 to 2 teaspoons daily, yes, it will help you in the long run.
Yeah, I think it's back to Vata, Pitta, Kapha, you know, knowing your nature. So if your Vata, ghee is fine because you're dry anyway and there isn't that much fat in your body. If you're Pitta, you can have so you can take quite a good amount of ghee. If you're Pitta, you can have a moderate amount. And if you're Kapha, if you're naturally, you know, oily, to put it another way, then you can reduce the amount of ghee that you use in the cooking, you know. Don, you've spoken about this before.
Yeah, ghee is it's got a high proportion of unsaturated and saturated both. It has the appropriate proportion for our body, so we need both. And it also produces butyric acid, which is a fantastic bonus to the microbiome. So it really strengthens the microbiome. And that may be partly why Ayurveda sees it as such a wonderful digestive. It's a very good tonic for the brains, very good tonic for the eyes. I remember one great Vaidya who worked with Maharishi, and he was very eminent in India. And his point was that ghee is not sticky, meaning it doesn't stick to your blood vessels like other rancid fats might. And so it generally is a healthy thing. There are ways of controlling your cholesterol without resorting to statins. And often just the simple use of spices like turmeric and fenugreek and cinnamon are helpful to fat metabolisms. And the fiber in the diet helps your body to clear toxins. So oats and apples and pulses contain a fiber which allows your body to clear, because body gets rid of bad fats in the bile, and it's a way of clearing toxins from the body. But what's necessary is that there's the right fiber in the colon to hold on to the fats, the bad fats, and eliminate them. But if you don't have the right fiber in your diet, you keep reabsorbing the bad fats. So there are strategies, quite natural and dietary, that helps bring down cholesterol significantly without needing to go onto medication.
There's an interesting question. Someone got bitten by a tick a few days ago, and they're feeling a bit tired, but they can't get an appointment with the doctor to take bloods for a few more weeks. Anything they can do in the meantime? I haven't come across that one before. Any ideas?
Would recommend MA630 and liver care.
Yeah.
So MA630 we spoke about earlier on.
Yeah.
Antiviral infections and liver care obviously as well. Yeah. So that would be probably the recommendations: MA630 and MA579 liver care.
Yeah, and neem oil, the bitter oil on the site, if you know where the tick was, where you got the bite. Apply a bitter oil. And make sure you hydrate yourself enough.
Okay, so that's a few things you can do while you're waiting to get tested.
And Beena Vipin is asking about her 25-year-old son who's had an ablation for atrial fibrillation, atrial flutter. Brilliant that he's had it, and please God, now that's the end of that for him. He's certainly to finish off the medicines he's on, the blood thinners for 8 weeks, great. The diet, because this is a Vata condition, and because we're in the Vata season, then settle the Vata. So choose the diet for reducing Vata. And can he take ashwagandha? There's not a conflict between the ashwagandha and medicines, if that's what you're worried about.
There's a question about mouth ulcers somewhere. We have a remedy called Herbal Acid Balance, MA575, that helps to calm down the acid, because mouth ulcer could be very much of a pitta condition. So too much pitta in your system. So you can start that, MA575, consider it for long term if you're getting the mouth ulcer frequently. And then try to balance pitta. So take off all the spicy acidic food from your diet.
And that answers Etha Charles's question as well. Could you recommend a herbal remedy for heartburn? So both of those things: reduce your pitta foods, and Herbal Acid Balance MA575, or another one, MA320, is very good if you're very pitta as well. And if you are pitta, if you find yourself getting angry and very fiery, and do all the pitta balancing things to try bring that down, which again is chilling out and going swimming and relaxing and all of those things to help bring your pitta down. So both questions are kind of answered there.
Kathleen said she has developed eczema on inside her right ear, and the steroid drops are not helping. So again, Kathleen, that's a pitta problem, eczema. So I say you can try Skin Soother, MA3508, just apply on a cotton and a couple of times in a day, keep applying that oil on your inside the ear. And MADK2, I'll type in chat for you. Take that herb. So hopefully that will resolve the pitta imbalance.
Mag has asked what is the best remedy for eye health for eye muscle damage. Now has double vision. So I guess we have one webinar on our website about the eye, ear, and nose care.
Yeah.
We'll go through that as well. And the other thing is for eye care, Triphala along with rose. That is a good combination to have daily, 1 teaspoon with warm water or with ghee. Mix it with ghee and have it with warm water. And for the damaged eye muscle, I would recommend a very simple thing to do at home is a rice. You have to boil the rice. There's a special type of rice in India. It is called as Navara rice. So Navara rice is cooked in the Vata pacifying herbs like Dashamul. So in that you have to boil that, make a small poultice of that, and then you can just make a circular massage over your eyeballs every day.
What about Netratarpana? Would that be good for?
Netra Tarpanam, now she's saying he has double vision. So Netra Tarpanam will help, but we'll have to see the condition. You consult with our Vaidyas first, and then we'll decide if that will help or not.
Okay. Someone put in the chat about where the video for COVID is. So I can't go looking for it right now. So if you could send me an email, it's not on our website, it's on our YouTube channel. So if the person that put that question in just sends me an email, noel@ayurveda.ie, and I'll send them back the link. But if you get to our YouTube channel, which is Ayurveda Center, but there's lots of Ayurveda centers. But anyway, if you can find our one with all our videos, then you'll see it there.
Yeah, Ayurveda Center Ireland or Dublin.
Yeah, but just send me an email and I'll send you a link to it later on, you know.
Jean is asking the question 3 times to better answer her. Jean, you're taking the joint suit tablets and oil, and you said you find it good. Yes, you are right there. Stop it for a week and then start again, because it's good to take a little break. Okay, so you can, if you're finding it beneficial, helping it, you keep doing the massage is fine. You don't have to stop the joint suit oil, but the tablets you can stop for a week and then start again. Okay, or you can switch. I will type you in your box maybe a different tablet for a month and then go back on the joint suit. Okay, great. Sorry for taking longer to answer.
There's a question about blood pressure for a 78-year-old man. It's 150/90. Does he need to take anything, Western or Ayurveda? I'd have my own ideas on that, but maybe one of the doctors might want to. Don, that's your territory, is it?
Sure, if he's 170/90, he learns TM.
150/90. He's 78 years of age.
Yeah, if he's 78 years of age and he's high blood pressure, I think learn the TM is the first thing, because that reduces the blood pressure. And
we're only getting the top of your head there, Dr. Brennan. Move your camera down a little bit. We mostly have the wardrobe behind you.
If he wishes then to use a herbal, he chooses the MA303, 1 tablet twice a day.
MA303 for blood pressure, yeah. The transcendental meditation, if he's open to it, would be a great thing for him to learn. And there's lots of research to show the benefits for TM on blood pressure. Actually recommended by the American Heart Foundation. They did a lot of research into different meditation types and came back with the fact that TM was the only one that had the evidence.
He already meditates.
He already meditates. Okay. I wonder, is it TM? Or is it, yeah. Anyway, our MA303. Don, you're on the move.
No, you're too much after Dr. Brennan.
Can't do anything on these calls.
My Vata. Vata
Your
season.
Vata. Oh, he also meditates. He already meditates. I wonder, is it TM? But anyway. Okay, what I want to actually do, because there was a couple of people on the call that hadn't done the 7-lesson course. So actually, I want to show them where they can go to do that, because, and maybe some of the people who've done the 7-lesson course could just put in some comments about it, just to encourage the people that haven't done it. And if the doctors want to take a look at some of the questions, and I'll come back to them in a minute, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen here. And so if you go to our, it's very easy to get our 7-lesson course. If you go to our website, which is ayurveda.ie, so you can see the spelling up there, just ayurveda.ie. And then on the home page of the website, go on a computer or a laptop rather than a telephone. But it'll probably work on a telephone. But just if you do go on a smartphone, just browse the entire site rather than just what comes up, okay? And then the very first banner is free 7-lesson online course. So you just click on that, and it brings you into this page, which gives you an explanation of what the course is, okay? So there's the 7 lessons: Introduction to Ayurveda, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, the rhythms of nature, digestion, and the 6 stages of disease. And all you have to do is, if you can read through that, you can read through some testimonials from other course participants, and then you simply click on register now. And what that does is it brings you to this page, and all we need is your email address, your first name and your last name, and you subscribe. And then what happens is that each week you'll get sent 2 of the links for 2 of the videos. So over the course of 4 weeks, for 3 weeks, you'll have 2 videos, and then you'll have the last video on the 4th week. And then you have access to the videos for nearly a year to watch them. And these are videos that we recorded over the last few years, since beginning of 2020, really. And we put this course together, and we've had about 20,000 people register for the course, but it's well worth doing. But that's how you do it, and it's a great introduction to Ayurveda. It'll give you a great understanding of what Ayurveda is all about. And the 3 doctors that do that are Dr. Brennan, Vaidya Rajvinder, and Vaidya Naheed, who is not on the call this evening. She's actually back from India, so all the Cork people can know that Vaidya Naheed will be back doing consultations in Cork in person as well, you know. But yeah, so you can just go there and register for that. And once you register for it, as I say, you'll be sent the videos, you know. So I'll stop the share and come back to you. Where can we learn TM? It depends on where you live, Jacinta. If you're in Dublin, I would say either the Rathmines Centre, or Dr. Brennan's wife is a teacher out in Monkstown, or John Burns in Blackrock. Depends on where you live. There's TM centres all over the place. So stick in where you live there, and we'll get you somewhere.
Vicky asked, is there any recommendation for how to clear an infection in the bone after a tooth extraction? An antibiotic didn't clear it. Vicky, just if you would put a triphala tablet up against that gum, under your gum, up against the tooth, and just leave it there overnight and rinse your mouth in the morning, and through the day, you know, after a meal, put another one up there, and keep that going for a couple of days, because it tends to draw out the toxins, and might just clear it. So it's worth trying.
Somebody asked is, I'm sorry, go ahead, Dr. Charlie. Go ahead.
Yeah. So even you can try oil pulling as well, which will help to reduce more infection into your gums and teeth. So
oil pulling is just putting sesame oil in your mouth and just rinsing it around basically, and holding it in your mouth, and then just spitting it out. And again, we show that on one of the videos in our course. It's part of the daily routine that you should do. Everybody should do it every day. Is scrape your tongue in the morning, scrape your tongue, brush your teeth, do your oil pulling. So use a tongue scraper to take the plaque off your tongue, all of the ama that the body has gotten rid of at nighttime, brush your teeth, and then do some oil pulling, and then the nasya, and then that keeps this whole area very, very clean. So the oil pulling, just as I say, with sesame oil in the mouth, just rinse it around, hold it in the mouth for a minute or two, and then just spit it into a piece of paper and put it in the bin. You don't want to clog up your sink or anything like that. So
an interesting piece of research there was that people who do the sesame oil mouth rinse in the morning have far less bacteria in their mouth throughout the day. So it's an awful lot better for oral hygiene than a lot of these chemical mouth rinses you might try to use.
Yeah, sesame oil is antibacterial. Someone says to put a clove essential oil added to the sesame oil for oil pulling helps tighten the gums. Well, clove oil has always been used in relation to toothache in Ireland, even going back. I mean, I even remember as a kid, you'd be given cloves to help with the pain and everything like that. I haven't heard of it being put in with the sesame oil, but I would imagine a very, very small amount of it would be enough if you were going to try that, you know.
the Jinan is asking about taking the joint suit tablets and using the joint suit oil for osteoarthritis for
I replied to her, Dr. Ben.
Yeah, that one's answered, Don.
the ball.
How about Champa?
I advise her to take a break. I guess you agree with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Agree with you, Raj.
And Champa has asked to massage with sesame oil is okay on its own, or should it be mixed with coconut oil? So the only oil, whatever you are using, sesame oil should be okay. No need to sit together. Only thing, if you are Pitta Prakruti, go with coconut oil. And if you are Vata or Kapha Prakruti, you can go with sesame oil.
Yeah, really the time for using the coconut oil was the summertime that we're coming out of now, you know, unless you're very, very strong Pitta, you know, but certainly for Pitta people in the summertime, the coconut oil. Someone asked about it for cooking as well, and it is a good oil for cooking with as well, you know. It's if you're not using ghee, maybe sometimes people are vegan and they don't want to use ghee because it's obviously a dairy product, but coconut oil would be recommended. Lots of nice comments about the course. It's a great course, very informative and educational, highly recommended. Someone said it's improved their health an awful lot, essential viewing. So that's for the people who haven't done it. Course is great. I am much healthier and more something else. I don't know what the more is, but more happy. Let's put a word in there. Anyway, that's from Jennifer Murphy. And so for the people who haven't done the course, even though I think most of the people have done it, it's well worth taking a look at that, you know. Itchy red eyelids. Any suggestions from Olivia Woods?
Wash. Yeah. Go ahead, Dr. Khan.
I was going to say with trifle water. Oh,
Yes.
you're going to say.
Yeah, same.
So I would boil up the trifle and for 10 minutes, and then I would filter it through a coffee filter, so that there's no grit in it. And then you can either apply it to an iPad and put it over the eyes when you lie down, or you can even get an eye bath and wash your eye with it.
And later you can just apply a normal ghee, cow's ghee, to it so that it doesn't get more dried.
All right.
What can be done for a swollen ankle after a twist? Plenty of rest.
Immediately after the twist, I would dunk it into hot water and then dunk it into cold water and then dunk it into hot water and then dunk it into cold water, because that will open the circulation. And then you keep the foot raised above the level of your hip so that the swelling can drain away from your ankle. And then definitely overnight you could put the ankle up on a pillow so that it continues to drain, because if you get that swelling down, the ankle will heal much more quickly. And then as soon as it's comfortable, to start bobbing up and down in your toes to get things moving around the ankle, to start to build back the sensation in the tendons for position, so you don't go over on your ankle again.
Okay, well, that's I hadn't heard that before, Don, so that's good information there. But I suppose it might be too late if it's already happened. But anyway, so that's for people in future when they twist their ankles. Hot water, cold water, Don, is that what you said?
Hot water, cold water, hot water, cold water, hot water, cold water. And then elevation until the swelling has gone down. As much as you can, keep it up. And bradycardia means a low heart rate, someone's asking.
I like the quote from Katrina Hanlon. Well, it's not a quote, but it's a comment. It says, transformational course for those who are ready to reach their optimal health, to live your life to full potential. So it is, it's a good point, actually. You have to be ready for Ayurvedic knowledge, you know, because knowledge is only bits of information. If you don't put it into use, it doesn't mean anything, you know. So, I mean, that's the thing about, that's when people ask me, oh, should I get an Ayurvedic consultation? I go back and say to them, well, are you willing to make the changes? Because it's not a pill for a nil system of healthcare. It's not about going in and being just given something that's going to take all your problems away. I mean, generally, you're going to be getting lifestyle advice about, you know, changing the time of the day that you eat, the time you go to bed. And these are real changes that people have to make, you know, over time. But as Petrina says, you have to be ready for it. You have to be ready for those changes. So that's good. But you will be massively encouraged by your Ayurvedic practitioner anyway. And for those of you who want a consultation with an Ayurvedic doctor, all the details for our new doctor as well are up on our website now. So again, on the homepage, just to the right of that banner I showed you, all the contact details for the doctors are there. Dr. Brennan is practicing in Monkstown. He's only doing online consultations. He's not doing in-person consultations at the moment. It's all done via Zoom or via the phone. All his consultations are booked online. There's no need to ring anybody or anything. His diary is there and you just can fill in the slot that you want. He's pretty busy, so you may have to flick forward a week or 2 weeks before you find a slot that's there. Dr. Naheed in Cork can also be booked online. And Dr. Rajvinder and Dr. Chitali, they both have their email addresses there and their telephone numbers there. And Dr. Rajvinder is in Lucan and Dr. Chitali is in Dublin City Centre in the Grand Canal area. So and they're both doing in-person consultations as well as online consultations. So all of those details are there, and you can see the profiles for all of the 4 doctors on the website as well. So the website is a huge resource of information for people. Okay, I think we're going to draw this to a close pretty soon.
One more question. Did we answer that? Miriam has asked, hello doctor, what could you recommend for lymphedema in trunk triggered by breast surgery? So did we answer this?
No, we haven't answered that.
So in this point of view, I think Amrit Kalash will be a better option, as we have good studies on that. And even curcumin tablets, if you have plain curcumin tablets, which are anti-inflammatory, which will help to reduce the edema as well in the lymphatic systems. So MAK4 and MAK5.
Lovely.
Yeah, and curcuma is turmeric tablet.
Yeah, turmeric.
Yeah, turmeric. Yeah, we have turmeric powder. I don't think we have turmeric capsules, but we do have the powder, all right. But someone asking about dry eyes, but I think we've covered that a few times already. So the eye wash, or even using ghee or the Trifla wash as well, would probably be good for that.
The MP60 nasal drops.
MP60, yeah.
And Deirdre Eustace can't scrape her tongue anymore because of the pain at the back. But Deirdre, I hope you've been very gentle on your the scraping of the tongue is not to be done in any sort of a harsh way. It's a very gentle, the tongue scraper put gently in the back and brought forward. Otherwise, you could have made it sore. I'd be afraid of that.
Yeah, very, very delicate with any of this. Even brushing your teeth, you don't have to brush hard. Just be very delicate. There's a lot of different sensory information around there. And if you're using a tongue scraper, it's just you're just scraping the plaque from the top of it. You're not digging the tongue scraper in. It's very, very gentle. Very, very gentle. Like you've got taste buds, you've got very important areas on the tongue there. So, and then you use the sesame oil. So there should be absolutely no pain associated with it. Absolutely no pain. Any Ayurvedic protocol for someone who has just passed COVID? So I presume just recovered from Yolanda. Yeah, all the things to build up your immunity again, to strengthen your immunity, anything that creates ojas again, and maybe MA4, the Amrit Kalash would be a good thing to do, the Chavanprash maybe as well for the respiratory system. It depends on how you're feeling as well. Is it long COVID? Are you still suffering the effects of it? But all of the general advices for building up your immunity, lots of rest, main meal in the middle of the day, bed early at night time, drink your fluids, and then take Rasayanas to build up your strength as well. Maybe some of the doctors have something else they'd like to add into that.
I think Amrit Kalash is a great idea. And it is a kapha condition. The lungs are a kapha organ. So maybe you go on the kapha diet for a while and use plenty of black pepper and plenty of spices in the food. And if you're fit,
what about
and you're not suffering from a chronic condition, but you're just getting over it, get back to some exercise to balance the kapha as well, according to your energy. So, sorry, what would I say, Raj?
Sitapaladi, I would say. Take Sitapaladi as well.
Yeah. Sitapaladi Charna. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for the lungs. Yeah. Okay, we're going to call it to an end. So what I'll do is for all the people that haven't done the course, I'd strongly encourage you to sign up and do it. It's a great course. I'll talk to the doctors. We'll see, can we organize something for the change of season? We normally do a webinar at the change of season. So maybe, and it's a big change of season from Pitta into Vata. And we'll do something about that. We will run we will do another Q&A in another few weeks, and we'll have some webinars coming up in the autumn season as well, especially the one on diabetes, and some of the other doctors will come up with some webinars that we can run as well. We have a big birthday coming up tomorrow. Dr. Rajvinder's birthday is tomorrow. So,
yeah, I know you said that. Thank you.
If you want to give your happy birthdays to Dr. Rajvinder there tomorrow, I won't say what age he is, but anyway. So and then our son his birthday, he's 13 the day after that, is it, Richard? On the 7th.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we have our 2 detox programs are coming up. The September one is it's kind of booked out at this stage. We sent out the last of the packs today, so that's starting on the 24th. I think our first webinar for that is going to be on the 23rd, but we will keep everybody informed of that. However, we do have another detox with the overflow is starting on the 15th of October. So that's our 12-day Pitta detox. This is the time of the year that Pitta has built up over the summer. It's essential that you look at our video on that. It's on our YouTube channel again. Yeah, it's about an hour and a half to 2 hour webinar on the Pitta detox. So if you're interested in doing that with us in October, really the September one is gone at this stage, but if you're interested in doing that with us in October, then you can just book it online, but you absolutely have to watch that video first so that you know exactly what it is that you're going to be doing, you know. So that's great.
No, there is that lady, what she drinks, the answer was Leukojet.
The answer was what?
Leukojet, the Leukojet. Somebody said, wonder what the lady drank. The Brian said Leukojet.
Lucozade. Lucozade. Oh my God. All right. We must start selling. What do you think, Dr. Brennan? Lucozade for a long life.
Ayurveda Lucozade.
Yeah. Sugar-free Lucozade. Yeah.
Well,
thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, Don?
You can't argue with a 106-year-old.
No. The proof of the pudding is in the tasting, you know. So it's always great to hear that people get into 106, and it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to talk to her, but I suppose we all have our own karma and we all have our own destiny in this life and everything like that. So, I mean, even people do all the right things may have a shorter life. Who knows whether that's a good thing or a bad thing? But anyway, it's just part of the big mystery of life anyway. But certainly, I think in general, the Ayurvedic principles keep you healthy and happy. And you need both of those things. There's no point in being healthy if you're not happy. And I don't think you can be really happy unless you are healthy.
Little pleasure is fine.
Sorry?
Little pleasure is fine to have.
Oh, absolutely. A little pleasure, a lot of pleasure is fine to have.
Like Leukojet or...
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for all the lovely wishes. Thank you. A lot of gratitude. And I'm already blessed to have all the lovely people here. And thank you to my teachers and everybody.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And Ayurveda is great. It's helping everyone, and happy that I'm able to contribute. And thank you. It's my birthday already started.
Yeah, your birthday. You're in a couple of hours.
Happy birthday, Dr. Raj.
Somebody's saying I'm on 150. Maybe I live to that. Thanks, Mary.
Okay, everybody, that's great. So I'll put a recording of this up on our YouTube channel. If you're stuck if you can't find the detox webinar, if you can't find the COVID webinar, anything like that, just send me an email. I'll get back to it in the morning with the link. I'll send you the links to the different things. Any questions that you need to put in, just send them noel@ayurveda.ie. noel@ayurveda.ie. My God, Rajvinder, you're getting lots of birthday wishes there anyway. So that's
Great.
Very auspicious start to your birthday.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
everybody. Namaste. Thank you very much for coming on. It's great to see you.
Somebody said somebody want to sing. I don't know if you have time.
Yeah, we can sing. Yeah. Let's unmute everybody if I can do that.
That's gonna be another 1 hour session now.
Okay, no, we're just going to sing happy birthday. So everybody should be unmuted, are they?
No, everybody's muted.
Here we go. No, we're unmuted.
You should be able to unmute yourself.
Okay.
Dr. Raj. Happy birthday, Dr. Raj.
Happy
birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Dr. Raj. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for all of your love and support. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm just going to have to mute everybody again, or else it'll be okay. I'll just mute everybody again. That came in at too high a key for me, but I was singing at a very high key there. But anyway, thanks very much, everybody. So that was great. Oh, Dr. Rajvinder, I have to unmute you. Raj, just unmute yourself.
Yeah, I did. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm over cloud 9 now.
And Don, you should be able to unmute yourself.
Yes, I just want to say that we're very blessed to have Rajvinder in Ireland, and she more than deserves all the happy birthday wishes, because she's a great bonus for us all.
Absolutely.
Lovely to have you with us, Raj. You're great.
Thank you. So am I. Thank you. I'm blessed to have you all. Thank you.
Raj.
Thank you, Dr. Cham. Thank you.
So we'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, everybody. Namaste.
Okay.
Have a good night, and we'll be in touch. We'll be in touch soon. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Love you all.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye-bye.